Okay, scooter tramps and chopper jockeys all across the land. It is Sunday. We are coming to you live from Clockworks, Mitchell, South Dakota.
I know, and it's like, this
We
is
don't
the first
ever
time.
get out this close to the holidays.
I know, this is the first time I've ever been here outside of the pre-Sturgis party, so I get to see like the whole
lay of the land, behind the scenes.
I feel
They've lifted the curtain. So let me start this off the way we normally do.
Please.
It's just after 9 p.m. on the East Coast, just after 8 p.m. here in the Midwest, and you are tuned in to America's first and favorite motorcycle news and information show, sponsored by the one and only Dennis Kirk in the Dennis Kirk Motorcycle Studio. They've left the back door open again.
We got out though.
And here we are.
I know. I like this whole roaming like house party shop talk thing.
It's kind of neat. If you guys are used to our show, this is going to have a little bit different of a buzz. You know, we're out of the studio. We're trying some new equipment to, you know, get more involved with you guys, get you more involved with what we're doing. And look, right there, just like that. Gary Rayfield, hey, howdy people. Who else is in the house with us?
Professional Monkey, Karen Cavazzo, Greg White, Gus.
Karen's in with us, Greg White, all the way from Texas. So we'll be pulling up some of your chats as we go through the show, but tonight's going to be a killer show because we have the one and only Mr. Werks with us and his head minion.
He has to change your Instagram to
his head minion. There he is.
It.
Huh? Now listen, all week next week when everybody's busting your stones about that, I don't want you to hate on me. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. It's an easy target. But no, we've been doing.
Love minions.
I know. I love minions.
Okay.
I might have to get some like overalls and stuff. Paint myself yellow.
Easy. Watch that.
It'll be fun.
So
we are missing Mark though.
we
didn't bring our little. I think there's an elf around here somewhere.
Our minion. We don't have our minion. We don't have Mark with us. Mark is off this weekend because he's moving cars and bicycles and bicycles.
Oh
we
my
need to
God,
talk about bicycles.
So I know you guys have been extremely generous and extremely kind with the Dream Rides bicycle drive. Need to let you know that they drew the winner last night for the Harley. And it actually was won by, is Cam the owner? The owner of Music City Indian. And he donated it back and they auctioned it off on site and took in $8,500 to buy more bicycles and more helmets. At last count, there were over 450 bicycles.
Dude, how about it?
And they're going to be buying more bikes, more helmets. So it looks like they're going to be donating roughly 550. Roughly 550.
That's you guys. That's you guys.
Thanks
That's
to everybody here.
All our people from ShopTalk, Professional Monkeys, like Professional Monkey killed it. He absolutely killed it with us. He took a week where he just called out everybody. Speaking of that, where's that at? Professional Monkey says, "Sup, Shelton." Look at that. Monkey,
You
give
have
me
a
some
fan
love.
club already? How does that even happen?
Monkey, didn't we cover this though? Minion. What's up, Minion?
Oh, that's just mean.
He's never going to talk to me again after we leave
I don't
here.
blame him. But anyway, so that's just like a true testament to the motorcycle community and our motorcycle family. And I really shouldn't be that surprised after all the years doing this. It shouldn't surprise me, but it always amazes me at how fortunate we are to have this as our community.
Well, and this is the thing, man. We were talking about this because when you come here, if you spend any time other than the 10 minutes to stop and see the Corn Palace when you run through, you immediately get the sense that Mitchell is a very special place in the United States. This place is steeped in traditions of community and, you know, just really a collective of people that everybody here knows each other. Like you see them waving to each other as they're going down the street, and it's not a casual, "Hey, how you doing?"
Fancy way of saying farm kids.
Well, you know, listen,
that's what he's saying. He's like farm kids.
But how many cities can you go to that have two colleges, a technical college and an overall college, and be as big yet as small as Mitchell? This is a close-knit community like none other I've been in.
Yeah, you guys have to be awful proud of that.
We are, but I mean, you know, like you're talking about community, and Cameron Amstutz from Music City Indian is one of the great guys of the industry and a true gentleman. And so to hear that Cam won it, okay, Cam's first of all very lucky if you've ever seen his bride, you know how lucky he is because he outpunted his coverage. And Chloe, we love you, right? Cam, we love you a little bit. So, but Cam did a great job, and then for Cam to just give it back that's normal. That's Cam. He is very spontaneous, very impromptu, does that kind of stuff. But the better thing is that there was someone there at the event that said, you know what? I dig that bike that the guys at Dream Rides put together with all the industry help, and we'd love to have it in our garage.
Absolutely.
And ponied up and wrote the check. I mean, I think that's the best part for me. But
Even better to that backstory, the woman that bought it is in her mid-50s, has never ridden a motorcycle before,
epic.
and that's what she's doing. She's
good
gonna
for
learn how to
her.
ride a
Yeah,
motorcycle.
right on. Even better. I love that.
How
Yeah, I
incredible
love
is
that.
Yep.
I
Well,
love that.
you know, some of the stuff that I was bringing up here is while we're celebrating the great work that, John Jessup, everybody at Team Dream Rides kicked this whole thing off. While we're all celebrating that and thanking you guys for everything that you brought to it, I want you guys to think for a minute. Think about the idea of community. Think about the fact that you don't have to go all the way to John Jessup's to get involved with something. You don't have to come the whole way out to Mitchell, South Dakota to get involved in something. I guarantee you there is a soup kitchen or a food pantry right down the street from
A
your
shelter.
house. There's a shelter. There's a coat drive going on in your own neighborhood. This is the perfect time of year to think about, what your community is doing. to get
I could tell you a story about that. I can't cook anything, right? I make an amazing frozen pizza. And one night I was at my house and it was Christmas time, and the guy across the street, the old gentleman, his wife had passed the year before, right? Got into a little bit of some scuffles with some of his kids, and I just hadn't seen anybody over there, right? And I thought, oh, this is ugly, right? They bailed on him. And so I made a frozen pizza one night, and I thought, I'm going to go for it. I cut it all up and walked across the street, knocked on his door. He goes, "What's up, Brian?" I said, "Do you want to share pizza?" He goes, "Yeah, I do. That'd be great. Come on in." And so sometimes, it doesn't have to be monetary. It's time and treasures, right? My frozen pizza is not a treasure, but I did take the time, right? And
That's
he
right.
was stoked about that, and that really opened up our relationship for the next 2 or 3 years while he was still alive, for me to go over there and just interact with him, whatever, right?
Yep.
And
So,
so,
and that's the thing to remember too, that time is treasured. Time is the most important gift that you can give to anyone else alive on this planet. Everything else can be bought back. Everything else can be replaced. Time is the only thing you can't buy more of. So when you give somebody the gift of your time, you're literally giving them a piece of your life. So
Absolutely.
go out and spend that time, man. Do your part to make your community better. I'm going to stop preaching. Just want to remind you, in the middle of all this happy holiday stuff that's going on, you have the opportunity to make somebody else's life better.
Technical question. They want you to drop the chat. It's covering the screen too much.
It's
I'm just-
totally covering Mr. Klock. Let's
Yep.
see. Let me switch over to his camera.
it's
We've
okay.
got
I'm
you.
fine with me being covered.
How is it covering Mr. Klock?
When you're
So,
as ugly as me, it just happens.
If you guys are,
It's AI. It knows how to block out the ugly.
Oh, you stop.
if you guys are checking this out and you see this is not our standard format, we're on the road. We're doing this from a live studio experience where we're using some new software and stuff.
I know.
So bear
And we
with
got to
us.
see some yet to be released clock stuff. We know secrets.
Right? Right?
Nobody should ever tell him secrets.
And it happens.
Well, now you
all
tell
the
us.
time.
We already recorded all this stuff. We already let the cat out of the bag, and now we learned. Thanks a
I
lot,
just
Heather.
keep overlaying.
Appreciate you.
I just
Thank
keep
you very much.
overlaying the off the record for you. So
Gotcha,
I just added it
gotcha.
to everything.
No,
We're
but
good.
I'll tell you what, that's something that we were here obviously today doing a bunch of, that's why they think that. He's not supposed to be on camera on this shot.
Okay, here, I'll lean
He's
over.
supposed to be
I'll
on
hang out on my
camera
minion.
on this
There,
shot.
Is that better?
But
Sorry, folks.
obviously we're here doing a whole bunch of stuff in addition to celebrating at the holiday party, which was off the hook, man. Probably two of the best people playing Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus
Yes.
ever. But we're also here to do a bunch of product stuff. And while we went through that today, we talked about the fact that you guys have really, really cornered the market as far as it comes to reaction time. There's so much going on in the market today. When you look at this and consider that, through the 90s,
You're going to make my Monday morning meeting very tough. My team's going to watch this. They're going to know that they pulled together like no other to clean this place up and put out a fantastic Christmas party for our community. We gave away, 40 bags to little kids. The first 40 kids in the door got these little goodie bags, complete with everything. It was awesome.
Vanessa's here.
And the beauty of it was that now you're saying, our reaction to market is quick, right? Well, in the production meeting the other day, Hunter, who's home watching the Eagles lose right now, said, Brian, we've almost put out 100 new SKU numbers already this year.
Right.
Wow.
100 SKU numbers.
Incredible.
And that's a big deal when you think about the packaging and the directions and all the nuances and making sure it is okay in the French Canadian area. It's okay in Europe. It's okay in all these, providences and places you're going that you don't really understand all the rules, the regulations. So
Yeah, and that's what we were talking about as we were going through your windshield for the Challengers and all the different colorways, like how not only taking the input from the customers, but having another model that you're offering a product for and moving that standard of quality that your customers are used to getting from your product into a new arena, into different colors, into different models. And it has to happen at the speed of the market, which is increasingly fast.
Yeah, it is. And that's the thing, Black Friday was great. We don't really discount our product. That's not our jam. We had a huge reaction to that. Shelton, Dave, Jeff Del Favaro, Ryan, Noah, Todd, everybody was over there pulling product as fast as they could. These guys came in here that Black Friday. They saw it happen. They came in on Black Friday. They had Black Friday off. They had the weekend off. They came in on Saturday. And on Monday, they were pulling parts as fast as they could. And in 4 days, had us caught up from an astronomical number, which, I'm here I'm lifting my team up. These guys are incredible. I'm so fortunate, So you joke around about head minion. Well, there's 21 minions here that kill it.
Right.
And I'm so grateful. Like that party, I didn't do anything. I literally did nothing to help with that. And it was incredible. I mean, people from all walks of life are in here that are non-motorcycle folks. And they're like, wow, this is incredible. The community needs this. And I looked at the girls and I said, uh-oh, you just created Free Sturgis Party 2. It was the first time we've ever done it. And there's people here from all walks of life, and everybody's celebrating it now, and everybody's sharing their social media photos and what they took with the sidecar in the big red chair back there and with Santa Claus. And
dude, that was the greatest thing, was watching the little kids with the sidecar. They were so fired up, climbing all over that thing. And
parents were freaking out, and I said, it's okay, it's just paint. Come on.
So listen, real quick, Kurt Simon says, Mr. Klock, is that a Dixon? Your new one, possibly?
You know what? Thank you, Kurt, for asking. It is definitely a Dixon. It is not my new one. I don't even know what this thing's called. What I loved about this was the randomness, right? That this doesn't match this, and it's just kind of it seemed a little artsy to me. So I bought it, and church Christmas program this morning, watching the little kids do their thing and sing and act and do all the stuff. And so I wore this, and I've just had it on all day. So thanks for asking, but we appreciate that. A lot of people hit us up before Christmas and said, where's the Clockworks flannel? What's going on? Where's the new flannel?
I'm getting mine before I leave
And
you.
we took a little break, right? Because we thought we'd give you guys a break, because I don't want to seem like just every other grabber. I hate that,
You're
right?
a trendsetter, Mr.
Jim
Klock.
Grady says Picasso flannel. Question
Is
mark.
that what it's called? I don't know. Okay, forget
She's
it.
gonna
I'm
take
going to
it
look
off
right
right
now.
now.
I'm going to find out, okay?
Well, you look at your shirt. I have to just, tell these people about one of my observations from Friday night. Not only was the community welcome and with open arms, but what a true testament to your staff. And I know they did a lot of the back work and, got ready and made sure all the bags were ready and all this, but there were 3 staff members in particular that I have got to point out.
Well, we got to talk about decorations too.
Right. Well, the
and one of
decorations
them,
were
right?
incredible, first of all. But to have staff members volunteer to be Buddy the Elf and 2 galloping blow-up reindeers.
And do it without
That takes-
complaint.
right.
You know what I mean? They
And
were having
had
as much fun as
and
the
they
kids
had a
were.
good time. And
Yep.
that's a true testament to how invested they are in this community.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because I'll be honest.
Well, in
They were
this
like, "Do you want to
community-
be a reindeer?" I'm like,
No.
"Nope."
Yeah, I'm out. I
I'm
just
out.
want to watch,
I'm
right?
like, I will serve hot chocolate
All right.
until
So
whatever.
if you can see this, I don't even know where I'm going. This way, okay. It's the Pliskin. It says, see that?
It's like Snake Plissken. Now I love
Oh,
it.
okay. Now
I
he
love
knows.
it.
Now
I
he
love
knows.
it.
So Plisken. It's got that as the tag. So Danny Dixon, I guess it's time to bring it back. I have no idea when I got this.
Let's give a few shout outs.
Go ahead.
We're missing Zam Biker, Radar.
Radar says that he's willing to haul the bikes. I'm assuming
Pedal bikes,
you mean
lots
the
of
pedal
them.
bikes down to Tennessee.
Knoxville.
and all
Yeah,
that.
but you would have to get to us and then back down, and that's a whole big thing. Kumar Vikram, you're awesome. Jason Holman's in the house.
How about Jason Holman? What's up?
Deal Stereo, Kurt Simon, we already talked to him. Gus Gus, blah, blah.
Vanessa says Cargo's home with me because people were asking where's Cargo.
Yeah,
Papa's
understood.
in the
Well,
house.
you know, Cargo's pretty popular, but he was living it up at the Christmas party.
Yep.
Yeah.
He got a Grinch costume. He went
I
home,
was
and the
kinda
feet
jealous.
in that little Grinch costume were seriously black.
Oh, he was all over the place.
Yeah, he was in the metal room. He was riding striders in between the bikes, and everybody's freaking out. I'm like, it's okay. This is what he does.
Mhm.
Mrs. Monkey's here. What's up, honey? Radar says that I'm wearing a monkey-colored flannel.
I don't get it.
See, that's what goes on.
I don't get it.
Hello, Queen and Mrs. Monkey.
Well, here's the deal. I don't want this to come off as like a Clockworks commercial. Like, this is your chance. We're trying new
Well,
technology. We're trying new things.
Yep.
Take your shots. You can ask me something. You can ask Shelton
Yeah.
to throw me under the bus. You can ask Shelton personal questions about what kind of a jerk I am to work for. I mean, I don't care.
Let's ask
No.
Shelton about this because I don't know if you guys realize this. He is one of our contenders
Drum roll, drum roll, drum roll.
for the smoke out garage build off.
I
So
know.
I've been here this weekend and saw you fastly working on an FXR
Yeah.
frame, and you got some plans.
Yeah, just try and get the frame ready to go to paint.
And I
So-
know, like an industry, like a
He says
heater,
that
he's
I'll-
got an
I'll pull it.
absolute one-off part that he designed. That's killer. I don't know if I can say anything
I
about
thought that
it
was
yet.
top secret.
Yeah. Say,
I
I thought you
thought-
said Chris was bad at keeping this secret.
No,
Right?
wait a
How
minute.
do we know it's
One-off
Heather who can't
part,
keep the secrets?
one-off part that he designed. That's it.
Yeah.
What secret did I give away?
You didn't.
That's
Nice
it.
job. Very well done.
Now they're going to be like, "Where's the one-off part? I want to know. I want to know."
Well, everybody wants to know what Shelton's doing because Shelton not only runs the backside of the social media with me, but has really taken a lot of steps, okay, in his bike building progress over the last 2 years. And so I'm personally excited. I'm standing back. I'm throwing out a call from the coaching sidelines, but that's it. I'm not touching this thing. I mean, it is all Shelton. And so when everybody here, you know, the 20 some of us heard that Shelton got invited, I mean, you know, Carly made a special gift basket. We were all celebrating it. We were excited as heck because, you know, it's one of your team, you know, stepping off the sidelines going, hey, I'm going to try the special teams thing. I'm going to kick this field goal.
Yeah.
Watch out. Watch this. Hold my beer.
I'm just happy to be done welding and grinding on the frame because there was hours upon hours into that.
Oh, been there, done that.
Well, I'm not easy on him. I make him clean up his mess.
Well, yeah.
So I come in
As
on
you
Monday like
should.
Shelton.
Hey,
That's not good. He goes, dude, I was so tired.
seriously,
Yeah, no, I get
look around this place. Look how much white is here. I'm not even allowed to bring stuff into this building. My stuff has to sit outside, and I get one thing at a time as I need it.
That's the only way. That's the only way you can do it. Because, dude, like, if you've ever seen his
Oh.
garage,
Bob Hoffman says, "Is that Brian?"
that is Brian.
It is.
Bob Hoffman is a legend.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, you could go back 20 years, and whether you saw him at Donnie Smith's shop or you saw him out at West Coast Choppers, like in Long Beach, I'm like, that is Bob Hoffman. Like, how did he show up here? Like, I swear to God, the guy's a ghost. Like, he just pops up everywhere. It's crazy.
So Mrs. Monkey says, I'm going to bring it up for you guys. Oh, wait, no. All I hear is, what would Sheldon do? WWSD. We need WWSD stickers
There you go.
with the spade on it. WWSD.
So Big Brian Korlick says, hello,
Oh,
hello,
great.
my,
How, I don't see,
Mr. Hey,
I got
Mr.
it.
Non-social media.
I don't
He
see
just
his shout
knows.
out.
He just
No.
knows at the right time. What?
no, he texts me. He's like, okay.
Of course he does.
He sends me a message.
How about it? How about Brian has a special arrangement with on the show?
He texts
He
me.
sends one of them a text message and they read it for him on the show.
Oh.
I've known
Wait,
Brian
thing is,
Korlick
we
a
do it.
long time. Okay, and you know, it was a treat because when we went to Bonneville back in the day, you know, his dad Henry had been diagnosed and said, you know, I want to go to Bonneville and I want to watch these guys race. I want to watch Team Clockworks. So if you've ever seen my Quicksilver FXR, which we built in 2010, on the oil sticker or on the oil tank, there's a sticker, and it's a Henry Korlick tribute sticker.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Brian's dad was one of a kind, incredible hot rod builder, racer, just, you know, gear, gas in his veins, kind of, you know,
Yep.
kind of a greasing gears guy.
I love that.
Yeah, nice
I
segue.
love, that was a good segment.
Oh man, so that's some stuff that we're super fired up about. If you guys have been paying attention, Greasing Gears is alive with content. I feel like we should give a shout out to Nate. Nate is hot on the press, pumping out new material, and he's killing it. But one of the greatest things, and I had to tell you about this, he just finished today and sent us a proof copy over. He got an interview that I collected while we were at Donnie Smith last year of Tommy Summers sitting talking about his bike. And it's
great.
epic, dude.
It's
epic.
so great.
It's so good. And that's coming out on Greasing Gears TV.
And that was, I mean,
So, I mean, okay, so if you have no idea who Tommy Summers is, and you don't watch Greasing Gears for any other reason than this, you need to do it. I'm telling you, because Tommy Summers is a hamster. He's a guy who's been on Facebook. He got out of the industry for a while, then came back in deep. But if you can think of like a cool 750 chopper that you ever saw in your lifetime, maybe Tommy had some influence on it. I'm not kidding. Like the bike that he had at Donnie Smith's last year, for those of you that missed it, I'm excited to see this interview. I can't even tell you. Like I walked in and I probably took 75 pictures of that thing, because every time I walked by it wasn't a different angle. It was just that I really loved it that much. I'm sitting there going, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. I love this. I love this. How do I like this more?
the
Right?
greatest thing was to see the people like almost lined up
Yeah.
to just
Yeah.
get down on their knees
And he
and
was
look
loving
at
it
every
so
bit of
much,
it.
dude. It was so good for him.
And as well
It
he
really
should.
was.
As
Yep.
well he should.
That was one of the reasons, you know, and you pointed it out, that we knew we got the right person with Nate, because we wanted somebody that knew motorcycles. He's a
Yeah, how
video
about this?
editor.
Our new video guy. We just sent him this stuff and we said, hey, we want to do a video on this guy.
We want to see what you do with it.
Okay, well then if you're the head minion, then he's Nate the Great. That's it.
When he came back to us, he said, I'm going to do the short, because we'll do a long format for Greasing Gears and then a short that goes on social media and it'll be on
Nice.
here. And he said, I'm going to do the short on Tommy tomorrow. He said, but dude, what an interview. And I was
awesome.
He's like, what a
that's our
great
guy.
story. And
That's
that
our
was when
guy.
we
Like,
knew for sure. Like,
Yep.
he was churning out great videos, but the fact that he got it
Yeah,
makes it even better, because if you get it,
you just get
you
it.
just
Yeah.
get it, you know?
So Brian, here's a tech question for you
Okay.
from Texas. Greg White says, I have a product question. Any chance of a clip-on adjustable deflector for the top of the Sport Flare?
And what they're talking about is there's a couple companies out there who make a little clip-on piece that is an additional wing, right? That just kind of either provides, you know, kind of a laminar flow deflection type thing that just sticks out. And we've messed around with that a little bit. We've actually done some work with them before. And what we found is that most people, okay, just find it aesthetically not appealing, okay? Not that it doesn't work. Not saying it doesn't work, okay? I'm just saying for most people, it's not the look that they want. And for us, it's a big deal. Our goal is to try to provide, you know, as much function as we can and still keep it as sexy as we can. What size Sport Flare do you have, Greg? Do you have the 9? Because in the recent, what was it, year?
Last year,
Right? We came out with an 11, okay? And so it still has that same sexy look, same hips, same lip, same whole design. It's just 2 inches more. And so that might be the answer for you. And if you need help with that, holler at us. We're happy to answer that question or try to get you one. Otherwise, you can go on our website at getclocked.com and go to the dealer locator. If there's a dealer in your area that's a demo dealer, before you go there, at least call them and say, do you have the 11-inch Sport? Because we haven't even been able to keep up with ourselves to come out with a demo dealer kit that has the 11 and the 10. So like a 10-inch Pro Touring, which is a little wider, kicks it off your shoulders a little more, and the 11-inch Sport, which the 9-inch Sport is our most popular windshield. I mean, it is the slam dunk. That's the home run. So.
But we are trying to get demos to dealers for those two sizes because everyone's asking for them. So just to help you guys better, we are trying to get those out there.
Yeah, so even if we don't have the display all done yet, we'll ship one to your dealer just so you can actually go in and demo ride it. We don't want you to spend your hard-earned money until you know if you like it or not.
So 2 things real quick. I reversed the video so you guys aren't freaking out. Mark Hendrick says, Brian, Pan Am windshield is amazing. Awesome job on that game changer for the Pan Am riders.
Wait, hold on, stop. That means it's Mark Hendricks from Tobacco Road, Harley Davidson.
It is.
Hey, come on, lean in here for a second, everybody. Are you reading that right? Hey, he's had that windshield for 4 months. He finally put it on his bike. Oh, nice job, Mark. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, nice round of applause. Sorry, Mark, I had to do it.
Let's see. Vanessa says, Greg White, yes, the 11-inch is
Fire.
Call the shop, 605-996-3700.
I'm missing something. Everybody's talking about you not having your red glasses, and you did something funny, and I missed it.
My
I
red
feel
glasses
left out
are
of
in
the
my
joke.
bag. I've been here working. I'm on the road, man. Like, you guys can't expect that standard in the studio business.
We've thrown Mr. Rockstar off his game. Yeah.
Brian loves it. when
All he
knocks
can
me
do
off
right
my
now
spot.
is keep drinking coffee. That's all he's into right now. Just got to keep drinking the coffee.
It's not coffee though. I heard it's coffee.
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 We've renamed it to Coffee.
how many years have I been telling you guys I needed a coffee sponsor? Dunkin' Donuts blew that one. The Green Devil Woman, never going to happen over here. Sorry, East Coast. But coffee. I present to you Chris Callen's own personal coffee
The
sponsor,
special mix.
coffee. Available in a supermarket near you anytime now, I'm telling you.
So this is going to sound
Okay.
really,
Oh, great. Now it's empty. Now we're in trouble, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Thank you. Woo, save the day. There you go. Look at that. It's even got branded. Nice.
oh,
She was
This is-
ready.
trust
That's
me, I know-
support.
I
That
know
is
better.
support.
This
Right.
is going to sound really cheesy. 'Cause
That's my brand too.
I know. And because everybody knows I am a chopper chick through and through, always have. I mean, I love all motorcycles, but like, I really love choppers. When we were doing product spots, and I'm really not trying to blow smoke up your ass, I promise. Your ice windshields that look like they're always have
We
the
need to get
neon
one of
lit.
those. When we're on commercial break, you guys need to grab a
That
windshield
was the
because
cool-
I
I'm sorry,
never
like-
knew until today what the patented signature part of your windshields are. I never knew that until
The
today.
But like
hip.
for that
Yep.
one, like the way it looks like it's always lit no matter how
Yeah.
it hits. That for me was so cool. And like I said, we don't have a motorcycle with a
You
windshield.
thinking
Like,
about getting something to put some ice on, huh?
right.
Huh? Right?
It was really, I mean, and typically I'm not like a fluorescent neon girl, and I'm not a windshield girl, but that I just thought it was so
Windshield
neat.
girl.
Nice.
There's like
I'm sorry.
10 bad things that just went through my
I
head when you said
know.
that. Hey, listen, man, I want to thank you guys for tuning in and being patient with us. This is not our normal pentameter that we're reaching here. We're not doing the standard news and all the stuff, but we are going to take a break real quick right now. We're going to look at a cool feature bike, pay a couple bills, and we come back on the other side. We're going to talk about windshields, the flare, where it came from, what the signature part
Keep
of it
asking
is.
questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you guys, this is your opportunity. We have Brian right
Let's
here.
talk.
Talk Clock. When we come back right after this, don't go anywhere. You're
Is
watching
that a new
Shop Talk
talk show? Talk Clock?
through the courtesy of the Dennis Kirk Motorcycle Studio. Shush! I'm
Sponsored
running
by,
the show.
sponsored by Coffee. Bring it.
Out of Focus is brought to you by Garage Bowl. Submit your build, share your passion. Powered by Dennis Kirk.
I'm Jason Schulberg out of Prairie Lake, Minnesota. Bike I bought from 2007 as a basket case. Just kind of fabbed it out for a show instead of just 2008. Got this featured easy rider in 2010. Some of the features had different bars. We just put different bars on it like a week ago. Changed them up a little bit. I did all the brass work. Motor was cracked in the back. Rear motor mount was shot, broke right off this thing. Fixed that all up. Oil tank fab, hole in the oil tank, still holds 3 quarts of oil, which is good. It's amazing. A lot of people don't believe that. Got an aluminum Lawson fender, Lawson tank, old sacks and headlight. Shit. Rigid Springer front end, it's like a 46 inline Springer. Great jockey shift that handmade. Twisted up. This bike was painted by a good friend of mine, TJ. TJ Designs out of Jordan. This all color, pagan ghosts, local, somewhat famous paint striper in our town here. Craig Smith pinstriped it. He signed it here. He's now in Florida. He goes all back. His dad. He learned from his dad. And, I got into custom bikes in the craze in the mid 90s. I did a lot of builds, a lot of chop, poppers, like Evo motors, stuff like that. Did a couple big wheel bikes back when that big craze was going on. Right side drive, 124s, did that. And then got bit by the vintage antique bug. I started restoring and doing Nux pans and flatheads. He's probably 2001, and now I've just taken over, and now all I do is pre-70. I'm Jason Schulberg from Minnesota. I got a shop in Savage called Jay's Garage.
Klock from Clockworks in Mitchell, South Dakota, and you're watching Shop Talk.
This is Chris with Cycle Source Magazine, and today I want to talk to you guys about tires. So I'm in the Dennis Kirk warehouse where they pretty much have a tire for anything on 2 wheels. You know, that's one of the tricky things today in your local shop. Sometimes it's hard to get a tire. Well, they ship today from here, so pretty much any of these you can have tomorrow. Everything for your dirt bike, your ATV, your UTV. You can get these out today. And in addition to features like the tire finder on their website, if you buy the wheel at the same time you buy the tire, you get free mounting and balancing. Check them out today at denniskirk.com.
Trust Performance. You're watching Shop Talk.
Thing takes you from A to B or just lets you escape. There's a flow to the road you share, so go with it. Eyes open, and always have the Law Tigers by your side. If you've been injured in a motorcycle accident, visit us at lawtigers.com. Law Tigers, America's motorcycle lawyers.
Okay, welcome back to the Dennis Kirk Motorcycle Studio. You guys are watching Shop Talk live from Mitchell, South Dakota. We are currently in the Clockworks lair. Can't tell you how lucky we are to be here and how lucky we are to have an actual feed that we're putting out, because it was touch and go for a minute.
Well, hey,
What?
Greg, Gus is threatening to cut us off from our Texas Pecan.
No.
Take it back.
Wait a minute. This is even better. This just in. I have questions for Brian Klock. She has so many questions. Look how big that box is.
That's huge. I can't read it, but there's
I
a
will read it
spotlight
to
in my
you.
face.
It's been 26 years. You had a vision of where you wanted to be someday. When you look back on it all today, what has been the most memorable experience of it all?
Whew, that's a good question. I don't know. I think probably, it sounds so cliche, but the people that I've met and the people that have believed in me along the way were so incredible. And probably I'm going to give that shout out right now to Fred Fox.
Right on.
Godspeed, Fred Fox. He's since passed, but he's the guy who kind of blew up drag specialties, if you will. And at one point, he and our good friend Tom Motzko walked up to me in Cincinnati at the dealer show, and Tom brought Fred to meet me. We had a few bikes scattered around the show, and he said, "Hey Fred, this is the kid. This, like just like I do with Schulberg. This is the kid. This is the guy who's going to build our next bike, right?" And I thought, well, that's cool, man, because they would have different builders build bikes just randomly throughout the year, right? Which was so cool to me because I couldn't wait to see the next one, right? Have all the parts listed and not all the cool little tricks, but all the stuff you could buy out of the catalog. And man, when they called and said, "We're going to have you build the cover bike," I'm like, "What? Are you serious?" They're like, "Yeah, but we're going to do this different. We've never done this before, but we're going to have 2 cover bikes. Tank Eschwitz, Tank Tough Cycles, God rest him as well. So he and you are going to build." And I'm like, man, Tank was a ornery dude. Like, he was a tough cookie. And I'll never forget the day he walked. That's probably why this is so special to me. He walked into the garage right behind us, which is now where you get your nails done, right behind the hair salon. It's now all connected. But it was a 700 square foot single car garage. And Tank walked in there, and I'm like, "Oh my God, what are you doing here?" And he goes, "I want to check you out. I've been watching your stuff," right? He's just like, "Arr." I'm like, "Okay." So before you leave, can I ask you a question? In the bathroom at the back, which is about the size of a small closet, right? There's a poster of one of your bikes hanging in there. If you could sign that before you go, that would be epic for me. So I'm a fan. He's coming in to check it out. And at the time, Greg Wick's bike, the Benchmark Bagger, which we still make Benchmark fenders today, was on the lift. And Dan Cheeseman, Chris Weber, and I put that bike together. And I remember Dan and Chris going, "What are you going to do with this?" And I said, "One day I hope to be able to sell parts all over the world." And they're like, "Really? Come on. That's not going to happen." And so I can thank Fred Fox for that. I can thank Tom Motzko for that. I can thank Drake Specialties for that. And so sometimes I think it's just having somebody to believe in you, I could say I did that for Shelton, over the course of the last 3 years. I've drug him all over the country. And now for him to get the nod to be one of however many builders, I can't even remember the number right now.
Right now it's 24.
Yeah, so one of 24 to even get selected to build a bike for the Smokeout. So I hope that answers your question. If there's more to that or you have something else, please ask it. By all means, I'm happy to answer.
All right. So next part of that question.
Okay.
What would you do differently?
What I would do differently was I would have checked my ego a lot sooner. I think so many times we get so sucked up in our own stuff and think, "Oh, he's not that good," or "I'm that," or "I'm all this." And, Chris started the show with talking about community, and I cannot stress that enough, right? I am not the best welder. I'm not the best painter. I'm not the best motor builder. I'm just not the best, right? I do maybe have a good vision, or I maybe can see what other people can't see sometimes. And I can bring around people to get behind a collective effort to go forward. And so that's maybe my gift. I'm not really sure, but I think that's part of the deal. Is I think the less ego you have and the more you're willing to help others, you'll get it back 10 times faster every time. And so that would probably be my thing. Is I think when I was young, I was a little too cocky and maybe probably off-putting to some people. And then I learned real quickly that wasn't the best idea.
But don't you think, let me ask you this, man, because, I've spent an awful lot of time, way more than years before. I've spent a lot of time in the last couple of years with the hamsters. And that's something that you'll hear a lot is like, how many strong personalities in one place, right?
358 plus personalities in one room.
And it really is like some of the strongest personalities you run into. Once you navigate through that, once you figure out how to be in that situation, it's also 358 of some of the best people you ever meet in your life.
No. Go to bat for you every time.
I almost think that the motorcycle industry, you have to have like almost an insurmountable ego just to get to a place where you can make it, where you can figure out where your place is, So the the real thing, is
I don't know.
is-
Maybe you and I have argued a time or two about a project or 10.
Oh my God, I know. And that's what I was just thinking. But at the same time, just like you said that you've given Shelton opportunities, you've given them to me. Like you presented me with opportunities to be in places where I didn't think I could be before, or gave me more confidence in myself. That's kind of what we do. That's that switching gears moment where you.
And that's why I think that's the only reason I would have done it differently. Because I feel like that is the greatest thing I've ever done in the motorcycle industry, is to be able to give back, or to push forward, or to walk alongside somebody and just give them an attaboy.
Jim Grady is saying it perfectly right now. I'm going to put this up on the board. You have to have gray hair before you learn to check your ego. Until then, it's all piss and vinegar.
That's right. That's right. You're going for it, right?
All right, let's see. I'm going to go back. These were great questions, so I'm just going to run with them. What would you tell the up and coming generation with the way the industry has evolved today? Like, what would be your word of advice to somebody, coming in and wanting to do this?
You know what? You know what? I'm gonna hand the baton off, right? This is what you should do, right? You should hand the baton to the next guy, and I guarantee you there are 3 words that will signify everything that I would tell every young guy, and this guy already knows the answer.
No pressure.
No pressure.
It's not like Monday morning you have to be here to work or anything.
Yeah. So if I screw this up, I'm still employed, right?
Yeah, no, you're good. I got you.
I would say just
3 words.
learn from others.
Okay, he didn't get it right.
No?
I knew that.
That was a good answer, though.
It is.
Okay, RAE.
What I just thought of completely went the wrong direction.
Yeah,
so
no,
we're not even
don't
gonna-
even say it out loud.
Okay, it's relationships,
Oh,
and relationships are everything.
Yeah.
Okay, so I always tell these guys when they start working for me, I said relationships are everything. I don't expect you.
Look, she knew it.
Huh? Who, Vanessa?
Yep.
Oh yeah. So I don't expect you to know like all the things. I don't expect
Todd knew
you.
it.
I don't expect you to have to like know what we're doing in Italy this week, or what's happening in Australia right now, or what's going to go on in Grapevine, Texas next week, Tuesday. I just want you to know that whatever you do, the relationship is everything, right? We've known each other our whole careers, right? And so we've both been doing this 26 years, Chris and I, and relationships are literally everything. The relationship that I had with Tom Motzko led me to Fred Fox. Fred Fox believing in me led me to Parts Europe, to Parts Canada, to be able to do the things. I remember Fred saying, we're going to make a catalog. I said, I don't have money to make a catalog. Fred goes, I got you, kid. I got you. So, it was maybe 10 pages, this tiny little pamphlet thing. But to me, that was a win.
It's huge.
I was making real parts and I had a catalog, right? And so I just took Shelton on a whirlwind tour up to, we were headed to Boston for the Drag Specialties dealer show, right? And we were doing this thing in Boston and one in New York. And on the way, we're driving and we get close to Pittsburgh. And I said, you know what? I'm going to call Chris and Heather. I've never been to their place. I've never been to Cycle Source World
What
Headquarters.
a dirty trick.
It was so fun though, right?
That's
Because
great.
I called and I said, Heather, I'm close. I want to do this. And she goes, well, Chris is tied up right now, but he would love to talk to you. I go, you don't have to lie to me. Chris is napping. She goes, no, he's really not, Brian. He's super busy, but here's the deal. And so when Chris got on the phone, I said, if I would come up there, like if we were going to go eat ice cream, would we go to Betty's or whatever it was? And he goes, no, you wouldn't go to that one because we go to this other one. And maybe that one was Betty's. I don't even remember. But as I'm describing the building and all these things, he goes, oh my God, you're here.
And you could actually hear like the light bulb click over the phone.
And so that was fun because, I'm there. We've known each other all these years. And Sheldon never had that relationship with you, right?
Yeah.
So I get to see it from one angle. He sees it from another angle. We talk about it until we get to Tom Kiefer's. At 11:30 at night, Tom Kiefer opens his door, starts telling the stories. And next thing you know, we leave there at 1 a.m, finally get a hotel, end up in Boston. He's hanging out with the Shadley brothers and all these other cool cats up in Boston, Jay Souza and John Snyder and everybody from Metal Innovation and Artistry and all these things, right? We're just having a blast. And then on the way home, we go to Dan Thayer's. So if anybody knows anything about tuning bikes, you know who Dan Thayer is. And I mean, we ended up on his farm, and people are like, and Sheldon looked at me, he goes, how do you even know this? Like, how do you even know this is out here? So I'm like, I've known it forever. So
just to sum up Dan Thayer, he had an enclosed trailer in his barn. And what was in the enclosed trailer?
He goes, Brian, have you ever wanted to fly a helicopter? I go, yeah, but who wouldn't? You know? He goes, just a minute. He goes behind this enclosed trailer, and he flips a couple light switches on, and he opens the door, and there's a helicopter. Simulator in this little 14 by 8 trailer, whatever it was.
That's so cool.
I want to fly a helicopter.
And I go, what? How did you get this? Well, like, where do you even find this thing? He goes, eBay.
No.
So Dan Thayer. That's all I'm going to tell you.
That's awesome.
Go ahead. Try to find out more about this.
Oh, that's
the Dan Thayer helicopter experience.
We have to do a couple pieces of house clean here. Janine Jessup is in the house.
Hi, Miss Janine. We are so proud of you and John and the Dream Rides family.
Ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
You guys
really,
are
really
amazing.
have done us all proud with that. Logic Cycles is here. I don't know if this is Ricky or Brandon. What's up, Moto family? Brian is such a great man. Known him over 20 years and blessed to say he is a friend.
Thank you, guys.
I got Big Brian on the
Do
bat
you?
phone.
Okay, go ahead. Tell
Let's
me.
see.
Big Brian says.
Going back a little bit, definitely need to make these young bucks aware of the OGs and the custom motorbike world for sure. Shut your mouth and know your role. Recognize and appreciate. And follows it up with the up and coming generation needs to appreciate the past generations first before they can move forward.
And that's something I definitely wanted. I was excited that we were going to get to sit down and talk today, because a lot of people, they think that transfer that happens between the generations, that the older guys get bitter and they just hate on the younger guys coming up, and the younger guys are stubborn and they won't listen. But seriously, there has always been in motorcycling a tradition of passing the torch, and for good reason. Like, this is a very special culture, and we talk about the metaphysics of motorcycling all the time and how special that is, that we exist outside of the retail environment, that there's something more about this that you don't get from jet skis and boats and whatever other communities. The Jeep community, as great as it is, because there is a fantastic community around guys that go do Jeeping all weekend, but it's still not what this is, and I think that as great as the social media and the onset of all this technology has been, it's presented quite a few new hurdles for us to be able to pass that torch where you and I are now.
Yeah, I just unloaded a whole storage unit full of magazines. I didn't destroy them. I didn't get rid of them, because I'm just trying to figure out where I'm going to have a library that I can put them here at Clockworks, so that these guys can go up there anytime they wanted to, and they could say, I want to build this, and you could actually look it up, right? Mm-hmm. Because while it exists on your phone now, that true style, that feel only exists in print pages, and it's a hard thing to come by, right?
Well, think about it. When you were younger, you would wait for that new
God.
issue to come out, because you couldn't just go to the internet. The internet wasn't there.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't have that option.
No, it's a real thing. And for me, I've known Brian Klock a long time, and everybody in the industry that's from the Midwest knows that Donnie Smith is my motorcycle dad. Okay. He took me under his wing. He helped me rake my first frame. I drove it up there in my mom's trunk of her Monte Carlo, pulled it out, walked into the garage behind his house, and there was Rob Roll. And I'm like, whoa, dude, that guy's going to crush me. And Rob is seriously one of the greatest metal fabricator guys I know. And, both he and Donnie have walked beside me and helped me. And I'd be like, I want to do this. And they're like, no, maybe you should do this. And so being open to those suggestions, even if you think your plan is perfect and your plan is right, Sheldon and I have batted around a lot of ideas about his FXR, right? And as long as I let him lead, because at the end of the day, I can be the coach and I can suggest a play. He's the quarterback. He's the one on the field saying, this is what's going to make it happen, and this is how I feel like I'm going to make my mark in the motorcycle world.
Well, and even to that point, if I throw out an idea, I'm like, hey, I want to do this. You're like, I've done that. Don't do it, because this is what happened.
Because it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt.
Well, yeah, you want to try to get him past the hurdles, because, if I would have had somebody there to take me past that, I would have loved to do it, right? Who doesn't want to get to the top of the mountain faster?
Yeah.
Well, there's some other parts of that too, like you were talking about Donnie and David and the guys that are senior members of this culture and community now. And I see it a lot when you see some of the real young guys in this. They don't have the benefit of the depth of history that we had because of our conditioning of media. And some of those stories are starting to get lost. So when they walk into a room and those guys are there, they don't really understand the gravity of that, and there's a very important part of our culture. Those guys and what they did, their stories, their achievements, their pillars, that all of this was built on. Everything that is custom motorcycles today was built on the work that those guys did. And because of that, it's always been our job to make sure that those guys get respect, that those stories get carried on.
Absolutely.
And the same thing, like we have to find a way now to deliver that message.
Absolutely. One of my favorite moments to that note was we were on the High Seas Rally cruise. Actually, it was before the cruise, and a bunch of us were sitting at a table, and there were some young. They were younger, right? The guitarists, definitely younger than us.
Yep.
They were sitting at the table.
Oh my God, this
and
was
DP
so good.
comes
This
and
year.
sits down.
This year.
This is just this year. Dave comes and sits down, and we're all talking, and
guys
they started.
Guys in my band from Texas that were two new guys, and two pretty young guys, not steeped in motorcycling. So they were like, the one guy is just brand new, has a Sportster. He's wanting to learn everything about it, and DP walks over for lunch.
And they start asking questions, and then next thing you know, it's like kids at story hour.
Oh, dude.
And they were just so engrossed and listening to him tell the stories. And by the time they got off that ship and they took the time and talked to people, that kid was so excited to go home and customize his Sportster, because he started out, and it's funny, and this is how he was definitely new to it. He was embarrassed to tell us he had a Sportster.
Hey,
and we were like, that's awesome. Good for
one
you.
second here. Becky Quivers Zarling, I've seen your messages here. It says, need to talk to Chris about IMA. So if you guys are familiar with what we're talking about, the independent motorcycle aftermarket organization that's going on within the motorcycle riders. Becky, tell me what it is. You can send me messages, send emails to Heather at CycleSource.
Bob, there should be an email address too that goes directly to Bob K. He is leading that charge.
But if there's anything, it looks like she needs to talk to us about something pretty urgently, please get a hold of us. We're doing the best we can with communications through that organization, but whatever we can help with, we're here.
Nick Hildebrittle, any estimate on when smokeout tickets will be put on sale? I'm shooting for the first.
Yeah.
We have to have a few conversations about some pricing, because I think our rent's going to go up a little bit because we're drawing so much power, which is a good problem to have. But we're shooting for the first, so keep your eyes open for that.
So, Brian, a couple times throughout the show, Drew and Ashley Woodford have been making comments about Bonneville, and they're asking, will you be at Bonneville next year? I don't know if that means us or you, so I'm going to let you field this one, because I feel like it's more appropriate that you answer, will you be at Bonneville soon?
Thanks a lot, Drew.
Should we tell Vanessa to cover her ears?
Yes.
No. Vanessa's there. Vanessa blew up Drew and Ashley's rider experience bike. Okay. So they took over from the Buell Brothers, and now they have the Buell Brothers, Buell Sisters thing. They have a rider experience bike. If you get a hold of them and you're one of the few that gets selected, you may get chosen to go out there, put some leathers on, put a helmet on, put the boots on, get all the gear, and actually take a bike down the Bonneville Salt Flats.
Yep.
So when you go back to Grease and Gears TV and you watch the lowbrow thing on Bonneville, and all you see is that front wheel going down the salt, and it's sitting there, and you can feel the salt, you can smell it, you can sense the heat in your leather and all the things, and you'll know, right? Well, it's even better after you've done the rider experience, okay? So my wife, Vanessa, has the bug. She went out, rode their bike, took it down, made her first safe pass. The second pass, she's going for it. I don't know if she was in third gear, fourth gear, whatever, but she sent the pistons all the way down to the bottom of the case, back up to the gas tank, back down to the bottom of the case. I have no idea. Just shredded this motor. I bought a new motor for the Bonneville Experience bike, so it still lives today. Thank you, honey. And yeah. To answer your question, I'm not going to say what I'm coming to Bonneville with, how I'm coming to Bonneville, but cat's out of the bag. See you in
It
2024.
looks like I'm going to have to go to Bonneville too, just to
Well,
document it. Janine is going.
We just happen to have a still yet unproven Bonneville race bike. I got to go with that motorcycle to Bonneville and fail tech. So I rode it on the salt illegally.
To tech.
Yeah, I did the experience bike, but I didn't get to ride my own bike. It's still waiting
It's
for its
still
very
waiting.
first
I
run.
know.
So maybe what I'm doing is I'm just coming to Bonneville as a support person
He's
for
going to be
Chris
like
County.
a
No.
pit chief.
I'm going to be the umbrella holder for Chris County.
No,
Oh,
I'm
you're
gonna
gonna be
hold the
umbrella?
umbrella.
Yeah.
You're gonna race the bike.
No. Have you seen this? It's called a 5-head. That will sunburn, ladies and gentlemen. And
We
the
call it
Bonneville tip
shelter
for the
on it.
day is don't wear loose shorts.
Do not wear
No.
shorts.
Reflections, kids, reflections.
Mhm.
Don't burn
Yep.
the jewels.
Nope.
Drew
Don't
Woodford
burn your
said,
mouth.
"Thank you, Brian." Ashley Woodford, what do we got here?
You tried so hard to pass that
I
point.
know, dude. If anybody knows Drew is an absolute sweetheart, but he felt so bad telling me that it wasn't there was no way they were going to
You
let it run.
can't play.
It was the first year that they changed the rules so that open belt drives, because they had a
Oh,
couple
yeah.
issues,
Yep.
was the first year that open belt drives weren't
Yeah.
allowed anymore. And we went back to the little town. Right
Yeah, and you're
outside
not
there and tried
referring to Drew from Buell
No,
Brothers.
no,
You're talking
no.
to Drew Gatewood,
Yes.
who is the
the head.
king of overalls, hanging out. And goes,
Oh, but he's
sorry.
the greatest.
Nice try. We can't do that, boys.
And he didn't even take that approach with me. It was such a
He
beautiful
just
thing.
he walked up and he was
He
like,
came over and he put his arm around me.
Sorry.
He said, "Listen, man, it's just not going to happen." He said, I wish it was something
Yeah, but
different."
you've got to have your hand on that overall
you know-
because he's trying to hold his heart in because he does have a big heart.
He
He's a
does.
good guy. He has a big heart.
but it was great. He took the time because we were in that capacity, new to the salt.
Oh, and he knew me from there forever too.
But he took the time to literally go through the whole tech with us, and so we knew exactly what to expect. It was fantastic. It was such a great experience, and like if you've never been to Bonneville, even if you're not racing or on a team, you have to go because it's an experience like it was my
Oh,
first
yeah.
time ever, and
There's a magic
the
there.
camaraderie that you saw on that salt. There would be a guy in an old pickup truck that you're not even sure how he made it to the salt,
with
rolling out a
literally a
bike
toolbox like this,
next to
what's his
Al
name from
Lamb.
Honda?
Yeah, Al Lamb.
And
And Al Lamb is gracious because he's got a semi out there from
Yeah.
Dallas Honda. He's attempting to go 300 miles an hour.
Drew Gatewood
And-
retired, Brian.
what?
No
Sad
kidding.
face.
Oh,
Oh.
I knew that actually.
I didn't.
But it
Judy,
was,
I want to go. Your
you
mother.
can come, Miss Judy. You can come. But it was just so great because you would see, like, there was at one point somebody's helmet didn't pass tech, and they made an announcement
Yep.
over the loudspeaker, and
Somebody
next thing you
comes
knew,
running over
there
with
were
a
10
helmet.
helmets.
Yep.
And it was like that through the whole thing, and it didn't matter who you were or what you needed.
No, because
Somebody found
it's
it
about
for you.
community.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
you worked hard all year to get one chance to go down that salt, and we all want you to go just as fast as you can. And even if we're competing,
Yep.
because at the end of the day, it's like, I know how hard you worked, and you're brothers in arms at that point. You're like, okay,
Mhm.
let's just try to go as fast as we can.
Think about that too, just between the two of us. Think about how many stories happened at Bonneville.
Yeah, crazy.
How many lifetime, like once in a lifetime experiences we've shared together.
Correct.
Your story, my story, my mother's ashes out
Yeah.
there, Brian.
Yeah, we
like
argued
his-
a lot less at
Oh.
Bonneville than we ever have in person.
You don't argue.
So
you
Bonneville
just
is just a
like-
peaceful place.
You have
Right.
bromance spouts.
Yep.
Let's see.
I can't read any of that. So if you've got questions, I got to rely on Chris and Heather. I'm telling you, the spotlight's insane.
Yeah, Drew wants to know how fast you've gone. Like, what's the fastest
Fastest I've ever
you've
gone is 186 miles an hour on a blown 95-inch Dyna.
Holy gamoly.
Hey,
In
no,
the
that's
words of
not
my
even that
grandson,
impressive.
holy
I have
gamoly.
gotten smoked by my stepdaughters, okay?
Right.
Carly has gone like 197, and Eric has been like 195.8 or 196 or something. So, like, that's nothing.
But
Hey,
still.
and listen,
I'm
baby,
still
I got-
getting
I gotta
punched in
tell
the
you,
gut by my stepdaughters.
Like through the heyday of that, it was so great to be out there because here would come the three girls and he's running around, basically just like
The
you
umbrella
said.
girl.
He's the umbrella girl.
That's so great.
And they're smoking. They're out there just killing. They're like, "So how you doing, Brian?"
so
Yeah.
good. Ashley,
Slow.
that's a very good point. Ashley Woodford says records are borrowed.
They are.
Yeah, you get to hold it for a little bit.
Yep.
That's so great.
So listen, man, what can people look for this year? What's happening with Clockworks? Where are you gonna be? Where do you see Clockworks going this year?
Lots happening. We just came back from EICMA, from the big World Motorcycle Show in Italy. I'm proud to say that our brand is up 30% in Europe right now. And they didn't even have the FXRP style fairings yet. So they got those over there. They only had a portion of our offerings. So while Heather was super excited about those ice colored windshields, they didn't even have all of the SKUs and all the numbers, and they have them over there now. And so I see her over there holding that thing and kind of like it's glowing. So she's so happy.
Like it's like there's a little strip of lighting in there, and there isn't. It's like the coolest thing.
It looks like there's a light coming out of it, like it's lit up.
I just think that's so neat.
That's neat.
And so,
Sparkles.
so a lot of that's happening. We've now have the FXRP fitments, not only for almost all the Harleys. We're doing the 2004 Sportsters, and we're doing the older Softail versions. But like M8's already done. Road King's already done. You don't have to remove your nacelle if you have a Road King. We've worked our way around that, so you can always buy a cooler top tree later. We have them for regular FXRs, for Evo Sportsters. We have them for the new Indian Chief, which will debut. There's a leak for you. And the new Indian Springfield is already done. We showed that, I think, a week or so ago. We're headed to Canada for 2 of the international motorcycle shows in Canada in January.
Right on.
Yeah, for the super shows. So we're back for that. So we're excited to come see all of our Canadian fans and friends up there in January. We're going to the Biltwell Parts and Labor Show, which is January 13th-ish, 12th, 13th-ish, I think. Don't quote me on that.
It's somewhere
But
between there.
we did that last year. And if you have never been, I want you to be aware that last year on Friday night, they did kind of a tacos and beer impromptu thing where they had 5 of us from the industry get up there and just field questions from young guys like Shelton here, right?
Yeah.
And they were just firing it off. And I mean, we must have sat up there for 2 hours and answered just random questions from people like you're doing here. And it was one of the best conversations. And it really made you excited for the industry, made you excited for where it's going, made you excited for these guys, made you excited for motorcycling. And so I thought that was an awesome effort. And then
January 13th.
we'll be at Drake Specialties MVP.
That's what Professional Monkey just said. See you at the Drag Specialty Show in January.
Yep, for sure. We'll be there. That's end of January. And then right after that, I think we get a little break in February, if I'm not mistaken. And then we'll see you in Daytona for
Nice.
March.
Man, I thought we
Sorry.
got around. We ain't got nothing on the clock.
While we had this out, I wanted to talk about this because in all the years that I knew you and this product, I've known you and knew about this product, and I watched you guys, everything you were doing at Bonneville, and I watched the whole process you went through developing this, but somehow I never knew that this is what it all came down to, this spot right here. And I'm going to hand this to you so you can tell
And
people.
so this hip, what this does is as you're looking at this, everybody goes, oh, I get that. There's a little flip on the top and it just kicks the air up and over you. Okay, yeah, maybe not, right? It might hit you right in the forehead, depending on the level and where you're at. We want this to just hit under your nose so it does clear you. But the real trick is this little hip right here, okay? So if you're going down the road and you put your hand out the window, it goes up. Put your hand down, it goes down. And this is your hand ever so slightly curved, pushing down on here. So in the wind tunnel, stock Harley-Davidson has 30 pounds of lift. So this is providing 15 pounds of downforce. So now you just went 45 counts the other direction, as verified by an actual wind tunnel. And so it's like putting a spoiler on your bike. So when you go buy a semi and ever seen somebody do this, this takes the wobble out of your bike, because what's happening is your forks are just going 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. If you watch the fork cannon on FLH, you can literally watch it going 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Now, as you're going, it goes 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. So the faster you go, the better this windshield works, because the bigger the pocket, the bigger the V-plow, if you will, effect of it, and the bigger it's going to kick it up over your head. And so, yes, I am promoting speed. Dream big, ride fast.
Take chances. What he
Use winter
say?
windshields.
What he say? Ride fast, take chances.
And I always just say, ride fast, dream big, because I really do believe that it's okay to ride fast. It's okay to want to go to Bonneville. It's okay to want to go to the Daytona 200. It's okay to want to, ice race. It's okay.
Yeah.
But also I encourage people to dream big, because I just think you don't know where you're going. Like, we were in that little tiny garage, and I said to Dan and Chris, I said, one day I'll be selling parts all over the world. And I'm proud to say that, like, our dealer, Osaka, Japan, is crushing it. It's summertime in Australia. We're shipping stuff over there. The guys just went to Italy and Europe, and parts Europe is doing great for us. And, it's insane. This team is on point right now. I'm so thankful for the people I'm surrounded by and how great they do. My wife, Vanessa, really has kept the reins on our finances. And if you've not been to our campus, Chris was joking around about the lighting and all the stuff and the white epoxy floor. And I mean, please come by. It has been 26 years of an overnight success in the making. And the Christmas party was epic. The girls have this place decorated so cool. I wish I could just walk you through the whole place.
So Droop wants to know when those will be available for the Road King. Monkey says, I think they are.
The FXRP fairings?
The colored windshields will not be available on billboards.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, we're not making them in the billboard series, because you end up getting that color, and you're looking through it. But as far as FXRP fairings, those are definitely available right now.
Bob Ziola is in the house. He says
Hey,
the
Bob.
best.
Wow, the king of
Right.
Boston.
Give Andrea a squeeze for me.
Greg White says, I can confirm the Sport Flare makes my road glide more stable at speed, especially with crosswinds at highway speeds.
Thank you so much. I love that, Greg. That's the best part for me is I'll stand at the truck all day long if they'll let me. A lot of times they don't want me there because you guys come up, we start having a conversation, then there's 5 or 6 of us, and there's 10 of us, and then there's 12 of us, and literally it happens.
And then we're like, hey, we're trying to work.
Could you please get out of the way?
Excuse me.
I'm like, sorry, guys.
Professional Monkey. I love him so much. And I'm full of shit. Bob says he's giving Andrea a hug for you.
Yay. She's one of my heroes. I love Andrea. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
one of the most humble, overachieving women
Right?
in the
Yeah,
motorcycle
she's
industry.
total badass.
Yeah, it's so fun. I'll never forget. They were riding the Cannonball, and we were out on the highway somewhere over by Huron, South Dakota, and we're all hollering and honking and waving. There's four bikes on the side of the road, and they go cruising by us. The first time she gets to a gas stop, she goes, "Hey, Brian, I just saw some people with some Clockworks gear on. You should tell them to come meet us in Pier. I would love to say hello to them. I feel so bad. Like, we can't stop when we're doing this, but I did see them."
Yeah.
I go, "Andrea, that was me. I'm just a fan. I'll see you in Pier. I'm on my way."
So
So
good.
Droop says, well, not so much the color, but the shape with the side downforce thing. So he's asking about the flare windshield.
We do make what we call the billboard windshield because it's just a huge billboard, right? But that windshield on the bottom kind of curves. And if you watch it on a wind tunnel, the air comes straight over the top of it, cracks down into the rider. The bottom air comes around like this. And ours has a kick out. That kicks it out so that the air's broke, goes around the rider and the passenger, goes up over the top, and won't come back in until it's behind you. And so, yes, we do make them for that model. And we make them for Heritage Softails, for Road Kings, all that stuff, Sportsters, Dyna Y-Glide. So if you have a traditional H bracket, just go to Get Clocked, go on the sidebar, pull down Shop by Ride. You'll find your model. Go down a little farther. What's happening? Chris is giggling. Heather's giggling.
Andrea LaBarba, truth. I'm Brian's biggest fan. But here's
No. I'm her fan. Come on.
Can I put this in front of the camera
Liar.
real quick? Because I have this picture on my phone.
Go ahead.
This is one of my most favorite pictures in the world. And this is exactly the perfect picture to show what a badass Andrea is.
Yeah, buddy, right there.
Yeah.
Getting her
Like,
done.
Seriously? Like,
Yeah,
one
hey,
of the
I got one
badass
for you.
humans on the planet.
Google Mobile One, Andrea LaBarbera, and watch the video, and then you'll be only the 2,575,000th person to
Right.
see it. I'm like, Oh yeah, no big deal, Andrea.
Like, she's doing that on
Can
an
I bow
Indian-
now?
Right. She's
Come
doing that
on.
on an Indian 4.
Yeah, she's
Like,
killing it.
This is a good thing to bring up for conversation. Becky Quivers Arling says, I was told to buy a road glide to deter turbulence on the interstate. Turns out I just need a new windshield on my fairing. Now, the difference between a fixed fairing and the batwing fairing is night and day. Like there's definitely
It is, but you can definitely make that batwing fairing sit down. Our windshield will prove that to you. And the advantage you have on a batwing bike versus a road glide, if I can turn sideways here, is a road glide sits way out, right? So you're way farther back. And the batwing fairing, you're much closer to the windshield. It's a much easier protection pocket. And so depending on how tall you are, the 6.5 windshield for the street glide is absolutely our number one seller. An 8.5 for if you have an ultra and you're sitting up a little farther, or you have a passenger all the time. And anyway, I don't want this to be a commercial, but you certainly can call us. We'd be stoked to help you, try to get you to a demo dealer. And that's our goal is we want you to try it before you buy it. We want you to ride. I'd be happy if you went back to that dealership and rode every size so that then you could tell people at the gas station, hey, this is the right one for me, but you should go try this one. I think that'd be the right one for you.
man, you've got some big fans on here.
right. Logic Cycles right now chiming in. Don't sleep on Klock's other products. His dashes and fenders and other products are some of the best in the industry. Been using them for a long time, building 2 Softails with his fenders now. And these guys, like, anybody that was on the Chopper Friends Throwdown can attest to the fact that they employ a vigorous level of product testing.
Yeah, and come on, the Chopper Friends Throwdown. I'm riding with Big Rick, and Big Rick has long been a cheerleader and go-to for my dad. My dad passed away this past summer, and he loved Big Rick. Big Rick would come in with a slammed Pete with flames coming out the pipes.
Dude, that truck was notorious.
Yes. So here's the deal. Big Rick, the best story I got for Big Rick is he's going down the highway, and he's like, Brian, there's a hailstorm coming. I'm like, yeah, I know, man. What's up? And he goes, I'm in Salem, South Dakota. I said, okay, exit 350, Emory, South Dakota. You got to get off at exit 350, head into Emory. I'm going to call my dad. He has a perfect drive-through, 125-foot building. I want you to just go in. My dad opened the door on one end and opened the door on the other end in case Big Rick didn't hit the brakes, and he just came smoking in there. But you got to understand, in a small town, when it's going to hail, the farmers go to town. Okay.
Yep.
They don't give 2 craps about their pickup. What they want to know is, did you get more ale than me? How much ale did you get?
How are the crops looking?
I think my corn can handle this. I think it's pretty tough. And meanwhile, Big Rick's in there with a flame-throwing Peterbilt. Who cared about the corn? The soybeans, nothing mattered. They could not believe this truck was in Emory, South Dakota. And my dad's got 20 farmers hanging around. And Big Rick could have just signed autographs, right? But they didn't even know what an autograph was. They don't care. They just want to see his Peterbilt, right?
Dude, he was great. He was great with that truck. So,
Tell them about Dimples.
Yeah. So my dad's, okay, so Dimples is a truck that lives here. If you've seen us at events, you've seen this brown truck. It's got hail dents in it the size of baseballs, right? On the corners of the post. So, I mean, the hardest part to dent. And it was my dad's truck. And so, God bless Linda. She would let me borrow it all the time. I finally told Linda, I said, I just need to write a check for this thing. I'm using it all the time. I put some cool Black Rhino wheels on it, put a BDS suspension lift on it. The thing rides like a Cadillac. It's amazing, right? And I was going to fix it up and take the dents out. These guys are like, no, please don't. Please don't.
That's got character.
I'm like,
That's
what do
a
you
story.
mean? They go, the last time we were in Sonoma for the BRL race, we were set up beside the Hells Angels. And they said to us, my God, what happened to that truck? So one of these smartasses said, baby mama drama. And they're like, no way, did you kill her?
That was Ryan, by the way.
And so Ryan
so
Anderson.
good.
And so they tell stories about this thing all the time at the gas station. And what's funny is that's my dad's legacy. My dad would go into Walmart with Linda. They'd be getting groceries. And somebody would come out and they go, man, look at the hail damage. And my dad goes, oh, my God, it hailed while I was in there. It's like, come on, Dad, that joke is so old. And people just are like, look at him like, does he really not get this?
Baby mama drama. Oh my God.
Baby
That's,
mama
I would have
drama.
died. I would have died.
Hey man, so listen, you guys are watching Shop Talk through the courtesy of the Dennis Kirk Motorcycle Studio. I know it's been an unusual show for you, but a very good one for us. Not very often that we get to sit down and really enjoy time with Brian and everybody here at Klocks. And it's really been a great weekend for all the friends and family and customers that came out for the holiday party. Thank you guys so much for letting us participate in that. You made us feel absolutely like we belonged here. It was fantastic. What a good time. So much going on right now.
Oh God.
We're headed to Maryville, Tennessee next weekend.
No, like we get home. I think we land tomorrow night at 9, and we're gonna be on the road by like 3.
5? No, 5. Say 5.
Chris just bought himself 2 hours. I like it.
Yeah.
Nice job.
I want
Well,
5.
we need to get the bicycles there. We'll team drive.
Chopper Tom is at home loading us up, so we should be good by then.
I can't wait. I'm so excited to be a part of that because we actually get to go. Like the kids are going to be there and get their bikes this Saturday. That's going to be
That was the best part of
coolest
me
thing.
for the Christmas party here was I stood by Chris for a while. We were sitting over there by the benches by the big door, and just to watch, there was kids running up on the top mezzanine, running around, grabbing cookies. Carly and those girls in their dinosaur costumes are whipping out balloons. It was just epic, right? To see so many kids crawling around motorcycles and being excited to be here. And so hats off to John and Janine Jessup and what they do in their heart for others. And
buddy.
I'm jealous. You guys are going to have a great time. So enjoy your
It's
week.
going to be good.
We're
Enjoy your
looking
week.
forward to it. We're looking forward to this weekend before, not before Tennessee. When we get back from Tennessee, we'll actually be in the studio with Mark and our guest.
Yes, we have. Well, Xavier Muriel from Providence Works is going to come on for a minute, but I lined up Detroit Randy.
Yeah, buddy.
No, right
for
on.
next week.
Very
times.
cool.
So that's
Good
going to be a
times.
great show. Super looking forward to
Not
talking
to take
about those
anything
guys.
away from where we are right now. I mean, this is amazing. That's going to be cool too.
But like Detroit, the first
Yeah,
time
but you get to do cool stuff all the
Right.
time. That's
I
the
know.
key.
Yeah.
And so really, I've said this to you 100 times over the course of 26 years, but Cycle Source is the hub, right? We're the spokes. We get to do this thing. And I'm telling you, we have talked so much Grease and Gears TV this weekend. If you have not checked that out or have not even looked for a minute,
Poor
it's
Brian.
no, I'm not kidding, but go ahead, spend the $5 if you want to. But the really smart money is just spend the $80 and be a super fan and don't miss a trick, because whether it's a Tommy Summers interview, the lowbrow thing, or if you want to get a behind the scenes look at competition distributing and Tom Banks and the team over there, if you want to see just cool bikes that are being built, like all the features you see here, don't waste your time with all the ads and all the things. Free plug, Grease and
Well,
Gears.
and you know what? Yeah,
What?
that's the thing.
Hey,
So
hold on. Hey, stop. Go back. I want to file a complaint. I think my wife took my T-shirt. I didn't get a T-shirt.
So what he's
Oh,
talking
we'll
about
fix
with the t-shirts, you guys, we got a lot of comments in the sidebar while the show was going on, because we finally shipped out all of our super fan packs. And as a super fan, you get one of these great t-shirts shipped to you as a thank you for signing up with us. So
But
we appreciate it.
and I'm going to throw this out to the super fans that may or may not be able to read instructions.
Yeah.
If you don't
If you
put your
don't put
address
your
in your
address
little
in.
form, I can't send you a T-shirt.
But this is part of what we're doing. Like for the super fans, every month you get an opportunity. It may be a pack full of Clockworks stickers. It may be, shirts from Lowbrow. It may, at the end of this month, we're picking one winner, and one winner only is going to get a custom set of knives made from Bear Hutton over at White Knuckler brand that actually says across the rib, Grease and Gears TV, and it's our inaugural.
You don't even
So
have to
honestly, the $70 that it costs for a year is just worth it for that stuff.
Right.
And that's what we're trying to do, man. I mean, you guys know it's 27 years in March that we've been the purveyors of motorcycle media through the pages of Cycle Source magazine. This is the next step of that. So we're happy to be here. We're happy to have a family like you guys. Thrilled to be here in Mitchell, South Dakota, and learn more about this great community. And I think until next week when we come back to see you guys again, same chopper time.
Same chopper channel.
Brian, you have to pretend you're Mark and say the ending.
I don't know the ending. All I know is the same chopper time, same chopper channel. I only knew that part. You should have took the other part.
Bye, Felicia.
Okay, bye, Felicia. Is that you, Mark? Bye.
We'd like to thank our sponsors for their continued support, and we hope you pay them a visit when you're in the market for great motorcycle parts, products, and events. S&S Cycle, Makuni American, Baco Parts, The Broken Spoke Saloon, Twisted Tea, The Iron Horse Saloon, High Seas Rally, Twisted Choppers, Twin Power, Drag Specialties, Geico, Law Tigers, Tech Cycle, Fueling Parts, Lone Star Rally, Hijinks Apparel, Progressive Insurance, Spectral Oil, No School Choppers, Motion Pro Tools.